Did he say to you? Asked me questions about the vessel, the time she left Marseilles, the course she had taken, and what was her cargo. I believe, if she had not been laden, and I had been her master, he would have bought her. But I told him I was only mate, and that she belonged to the firm of Morel and Son. Ah, yes, he said, I know them. The Morels have been shipowners from father to son, and there was a Morel who served in the same regiment with me when I was in garrison at Valence. Pardieu. And that is true, cried the owner, greatly delighted. And that was Policar Morel, my uncle, who was afterwards a captain. Dantès, you must tell my uncle that the emperor remembered him, and you will see it will bring tears into the old soldier's eyes. Come, come, continued he, patting Edmond's shoulder kindly. You did very right, Dantès, to follow Captain Leclerc's instructions, and touch at Elba, although if it were known that you had conveyed a packet to the marshal, and had conversed with the emperor, it might bring you into trouble. 0027M. How could that bring me into trouble, sir? Asked Dantès, for I did not even know of what I was the bearer, and the emperor merely made such inquiries as he would of the first comer. But pardon me, here are the health officers and the customs inspectors coming alongside. And the young man went to the gangway. As he departed, Danglars approached and said, Well, it appears that he has given you satisfactory reasons for his landing at Porto Ferrajo? Yes, most satisfactory, my dear Danglars. Well, so much the better, said the supercargo, for it is not pleasant to think that a comrade has not done his duty. Dantès has done his, replied the owner, and that is not saying much. It was Captain Leclerc who gave orders for this delay. Talking of Captain Leclerc, has not Dantès given you a letter from him? To me? No, was there one? I believe that, besides the packet, Captain Leclerc confided a letter to his care. Of what packet are you speaking, Danglars? Why, that which Dantès left at Porto Ferrajo. How do you know he had a packet to leave at Porto Ferrajo? Danglars turned very red. I was passing close to the door of the captain's cabin, which was half open, and I saw him give the packet and letter to Dantès. He did not speak to me of it, replied the shipowner, but if there be any letter, he will give it to me. Danglars reflected for a moment. Then, Morel, I beg of you, said he, not to say a word to Dantès on the subject. I may have been mistaken. At this moment the young man returned. Danglars withdrew. Well, my dear Dantès, are you now free? Inquired the owner. Yes, sir. You have not been long detained. No. I gave the custom house officers a copy of our bill of lading, and as to the other papers, they sent a man off with the pilot, to whom I gave them. Then you have nothing more to do here? No, everything is all right now. Then you can come and dine with me? I really must ask you to excuse me, Morel. My first visit is due to my father, though I am not the less grateful for the honor you have done me. 0029M. Right, Dantès, quite right. I always knew you were a good son. And, inquired Dantès, with some hesitation, do you know how my father is? Well, I believe, my dear Edmond, though I have not seen him lately. Yes, he likes to keep himself shut up in his little room. That proves, at least, that he is wanted for nothing during your absence. Dantès smiled. My father is proud, sir, and if he had not a meal left, I doubt if he would have asked anything from anyone except from heaven. Well then, after this first visit has been made, we shall count on you. I must again excuse myself, Morel, for after this first visit has been paid, I have another which I am most anxious to pay. True, Dantès, I forgot that there was at the Catalan someone who expects you no less impatiently than your father, the lovely Mercedes. Dantès blushed. "Ah-ha," said the shipowner. "I am not in the least surprised, for she has been to me 3 times, inquiring if there were any news of the Pharaoh. Pest! Edmond, you have a very handsome mistress." "She is not my mistress," replied the young sailor gravely. "She is my betrothed." "Sometimes one and the same thing," said Morrel with a smile. "Not with us, sir," replied Dantès. "Well, well, my dear Edmond," continued the owner, "don't let me detain you. You have managed my affairs so well that I ought to allow you all the time you require for your own. Do you want any money?" "No, sir. I have all my pay to take, nearly 3 months' wages." "You are a careful fellow, Edmond." "Say I have a poor father, sir." "Yes, yes, I know how good a son you are. So now hasten away to see your father." "I have a son too, and I should be very wroth with those who detained him from me after a 3 months' voyage." "Then I have your leave, sir?" "Yes, if you have nothing more to say to me." "Nothing. Captain Leclerc did not, before he died, give you a letter for me?" "He was unable to write, sir." "But that reminds me that I must ask your leave of absence for some days." "To get married?" "Yes, first, and then to go to Paris." "Very good. Have what time you require, Dantès." "It will take quite 6 weeks to unload the cargo, and we cannot get you ready for sea until 3 months after that. Only be back again in 3 months for the Pharaoh," added the owner, patting the young sailor on the back. "Cannot sail without her captain." "Without her captain!" cried Dantès, his eyes sparkling with animation. "Pray mind what you say, for you are touching on the most secret wishes of my heart. Is it really your intention to make me captain of the Pharaoh? If I were sole owner we'd shake hands on it now, my dear Dantès, and call it settled. But I have a partner, and you know the Italian proverb, chi ha compagno ha padrone, he who has a partner has a master. But the thing is at least half done, as you have 1 out of 2 votes. Rely on me to procure you the other. I will do my best." "Ah, Morrel," exclaimed the young seaman, with tears in his eyes, and grasping the owner's hand. "Morrel, I thank you in the name of my father and of Mercedes." "That's all right, Edmond. There's a Providence that watches over the deserving. Go to your father. Go and see Mercedes, and afterwards come to me. Shall I row you ashore?" "No, thank you. I shall remain and look over the accounts with Danglars." "Have you been satisfied with him this voyage?" "That is according to the sense you attach to the question, sir." "Do you mean is he a good comrade?" "No, for I think he never liked me since the day when I was silly enough, after a little quarrel we had, to propose to him to stop for 10 minutes at the island of Monte Cristo to settle the dispute, a proposition which I was wrong to suggest, and he quite right to refuse. If you mean as responsible agent when you ask me the question, I believe there is nothing to say against him, and that you will be content with the way in which he has performed his duty. But tell me, Dantès, if you had command of the Pharaoh, should you be glad to see Danglars remain? Captain or mate, Morrel, I shall always have the greatest respect for those who possess the owner's confidence." That's right, Dantès. I see you are a thoroughly good fellow, and will detain you no longer. Go, for I see how impatient you are. Then I have leave? Go, I tell you. May I have the use of your skiff? Certainly. Then, for the present, Morrel, farewell, and 1,000 thanks. I hope soon to see you again, my dear Edmond. Good luck to you." The young sailor jumped into the skiff, and sat down in the stern sheets, with the order that he be put ashore at La Cannebière. The 2 oarsmen bent to their work, and the little boat glided away as rapidly as possible in the midst of the 1,000 vessels, which choke up the narrow way which leads between the 2 rows of ships from the mouth.